This is not a drill.
50 million people have already downloaded the app. They're attracted by those eye-popping deals. But beware. The BBB has received 900 complaints nationwide. Many involve product quality issues, shipping delays, and never receiving items paid for. But that's not all. The biggest issue the BBB has with Temu involves your privacy. The consumer organization found Temu collects not only customers' names, addresses, and phone numbers, but birthdays, pictures, and anything else they can find from your social media profiles.
Okay, so the entrance might have been a bit dramatic, but I actually filmed this video yesterday. I'm going to refilm it because I don't want to pass on information that I can't back up, which is interesting. So, a couple of videos ago you would have seen my Temu haul. Since I made that haul video, information has come to light about them that, well, I'll let these guys tell you.
Here's a smart thing about Temu. They understand that nobody's going to malls anymore. Box office stores are closing down. Macy's are shutting down all over the country. There's no more Sears. Bed Bath & Beyond is crushed. Everybody buys stuff online. So Temu is created this Chinese Amazon Shopify type platform where you can go on buy products, but they're not there to sell the products. That's just a front. They're there to steal your data. Use whatever data they find to do more harm than good. So it's not a shopping network. Right. It's a data collection network. Data is everything these days.
I want to start with this. A popular new digital stalker that's more dangerous than TikTok? China has a new technique for targeting American citizens. We're talking about the Chinese-developed shopping app called Temu. You probably remember this Super Bowl ad.
I like it. It's mine. The prices blow my mind. I feel so rich. Oh yeah. I feel like a billionaire. I'm shopping like a billionaire. I'm shopping like a billionaire.
Lured by that ad and super cheap prices on the products it offers, downloads of the app have exploded, making it the #1 free shopping app, beating out American behemoths like Walmart. But
it's been 1 week since I've ordered from Temu, and 48 hours ago, I found out that my credit card information has been stolen.
I've been emailing back and forth with this Temu employee all morning, and it's interesting. First things first though, shout out to Temu for not trying to sue me yet. That's usually what happens. The first email was basically them saying, hey Carter, you made a video saying that we misuse data. We don't misuse data. Of course, I reply with, then why did your parent company have another app called Pinduoduo that got taken off the App Store because it misused data? And why did most of those developers leave that company and come to Temu? If you're not trying to steal cookies, then why'd you hire Cookie Monster? And surprisingly, in their reply, they didn't deny the fact that Pinduoduo had unauthorized data transactions, they didn't deny that got banned, and they didn't deny that top developers from that app are now working at Temu. Their defense was, we didn't design Pinduoduo to steal information, they just got hacked.
Shoppers ordering cheap Christmas presents from the Chinese-owned online marketplace Temu risk buying items made using forced labor. That is according to the chair of the Commons Foreign Affairs Committee, Alicia Cairns.
Do you recommend Temu? So I've made a bunch of videos about Temu tech products before, but after doing a little bit of research, I found some pretty shady information about Temu that I haven't heard anyone talk about. So the way Temu is able to keep their prices ridiculously low is by simply acting as the middleman between Chinese manufacturers and customers. And some of the products that I've ordered from Temu, like these fake $8 AirPod Pros, turned out to be kinda okay. But here's where things get interesting. Temu is owned by a company called PDD Holdings, which owns another e-commerce company called Pinduoduo. Pinduoduo is basically the exact same thing as Temu, but targeted towards a Chinese customer base. And recently, Pinduoduo was suspended from the Google Play Store because it was found to contain malware that allowed it to track your location, access all your files, change your settings, and even read notifications and private messages. And while Temu hasn't been found to contain the same malware yet, I think it would just be a good idea to just not use the platform. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments.
Well, now dozens of plaintiffs allege Temu has been misleading its users and accessing far more information than anyone knew.
So there seems to be this phenomenon, especially on TikTok, that Temu is stealing information, stealing credit card details, taking social security numbers, yet there's no proof. Not actual people turning up and going, this happened to me, here's the proof, I know it's them because. Bit of background. Temu are basically Wish.com under a new name. You will have noticed that the Wish.com adverts kind of disappeared and Temu appeared in its place. It used to be a, what was it called? Was it Rose Girl? Then that kind of became Shein. It's all kind of the same background, same thing going on. So Temu's predominantly a cheap, wants to come up against Amazon style, effectively Wish.com, but wants to, bear with. Sorry about that, the neighbours came out and I couldn't film. So yeah, it's kind of a Wish.com thing. It's selling Chinese products on the cheap that are purchased extremely cheap. But as far as this phenomenon, and I'm going to call it that, where people are all over TikTok of they stole this, they stole that, they've taken my details, I've got all these fraudulent transactions on my accounts. None of them that I have seen, and I can't prove this, none of them that I've seen are actually linked to Temu. They are linked to Uber Eats. They're linked to your everyday typical my bank details were used to purchase a holiday kind of fraudulent activity. Now, some people are saying it's been a couple of days after they've made their first order. Some people are saying they've been purchasing hundreds, potentially thousands of pounds, dollars worth of stuff before something happens, and it's months later. So what can be proven? On those, like I said, nobody in any of these videos I've seen actually goes, this is linked to Temu and this is how I can prove it. All they've said is I've downloaded the app and I've bought some purchases and suddenly my details have been taken. Okay, my details were taken. I was at work when my details were used to buy a pair of trainers hundreds of miles from where I live. I have no idea where my card got scanned. Now, luckily, the card that I use is one of these multi-card app cards, which is very safe. They contact you straight away. I get an instant receipt within seconds. Sometimes I get a receipt prior to somebody in a shop telling me the transaction's been approved and authorised. So if something happens, I get an instant purchase receipt. I can block my card. I can contact them and go, I don't recognise this transaction. I get refunded. They send me a new card and I can still use my phone app to pay for things in the meantime because they will issue me a new card number straight away. The card takes a few days. So I'm very careful. I have, in the wake of this, deleted the app because, again, cautious. But this was before I did more research into it. So the facts that I can give you. Temu are owned by an umbrella company who used to own and run a company called Pinduoduo. Now in the US, this company was banned, it was shut down for supposedly putting spyware on phones. The developers that were used for that program now work for Temu. That is case proven. Temu have stated that they use those developers because they wanted a world-class team and they are the best. Conspiracy theorists amongst us will go, well, if they did it once, they'll do it again. I'm just cautious. So from now on, if I feel the need that I want to purchase from Temu, I will go through the website, not the app. And I won't be using my details. I'll be going through something like Google App Pay, Google Wallet, Samsung Pay, Apple Pay, PayPal, all those things that scramble and basically protect you against other companies. Now, as for these fraudulent taking of money, no one has said this has been Temu. This is Temu that is on the transaction. It's Uber Eats, it's flights, it's general fraudulent activity that I can't see is linked to Temu directly. Obviously on TikTok you're not going to get deep dive videos, but the other thing I will say is this does seem to be a US dramatised phenomenon, and I will leave that there. I've seen one girl in the UK, sorry, two girls in the UK, two content creators on TikTok, say that their details were taken, but again, no proof. There is a guy on TikTok, I can't remember his TikTok creator name, and he has cut a video of a girl saying, yeah, my details were taken, and she has actually gone back on that and said, no, that's not what happened. I was actually making a video about people saying this type of stuff. I've been using Temu for months and months and months, never had a problem, but I protect myself with PayPal. So people are cutting false segments and twisting it into fitting this Temu stole my data. Now, I'm not saying Temu is safe. I'm not saying that Temu is great. I'm saying be cautious. Use a third-party app to pay that protects you. PayPal, all these different things, ClearPay, Apple Pay, all the ones that are out there. Do not give your direct bank details on any website if you can get away with it, unless you know it's legitimate, like, you know, DVLA, government, you're paying your car tax, that kind of thing. But in general, always go through a third party. It protects you against all sorts of scams. And unfortunately, as I work in IT and I know that firewalls are getting, you know, better equipped at dealing with hacks, and I know that all these different bits and pieces and antivirus that we use day to day are getting better, so are the hackers. So please protect yourself. As far as other things are concerned with Temu, they are currently under investigation by several governments, not for the scam of my details being taken, not for those who aren't getting their parcels, but they are under investigation for unethical child labour practices. Unfortunately, a lot of the products come from regions of China that do not have child labour laws. They do not have regulations. I think there are, again, sensationalised of their rounding up, you know, people and making them do this. I'm not sure that's true. But just to be aware that, like your Shein, your Wish.com, your AliExpress, it's very much along the same lines. So, that being said, I'm not going to tell anyone not to shop there. I'm just saying, if you are purchasing, please just be careful with your data. Go through the website, not the app, just in case, because it may turn out months down the line this is true. At this precise time, I cannot prove it. The deep dives I've done on the internet do not prove it. Nobody is turning around, like I said, with the receipts saying, this is Temu. It says so on my bank statement. You know, I could say, well, I purchased from Tesco's yesterday and suddenly my bank card has been used to buy a holiday in Manchester to go to, I don't know, the Bahamas for a week. But my card could have been scanned at any time. And this, you know, these people who do these kind of scams and fraudulent things, they're getting very clever. They don't instantly use your card, so you can't pinpoint when it was scanned. I know at one point my dad had his card cloned. They believe they know where it was, but they can't prove it because people can hold on to your data. If you look at the time you've got on your card to use it, they're now extending to 4 or 5 years. They used to be 3, but some of my cards are like 2028 and I got them last year. So people have a long time to use your details if they're going to get hold of them. They're not going to suddenly do it yesterday because they got your information. So just protect yourself and be careful. As far as the ethical practices, again, do your own research. That's entirely up to you. I don't think it's something I'll be supporting. I'm not a Shein supporter. I'm not a Wish.com supporter. I'm not an AliExpress supporter. I did this review to see genuinely what it was like, and to be able to tell you my honest thoughts, which I hope you've come to know that I will be honest about everything. So we've got that out of the way, we've done the dramatisation, let's get into the review of the items I purchased. Now, one of them I don't have on me, which is the Phoenix necklace. I can tell you I changed the chain out for no other reason than I couldn't open the clasp properly. I do have mobility issues. Since being ill, my hands don't always work, and I wanted it on a longer chain that was more substantial than the one it came with. So the only piece I can talk about is the actual charm. I've had no issues. I've worn it in the shower. I've worn it to bed accidentally. It's not turned me green. So as far as the quality of, they're saying it's stainless steel, I kind of agree. My skin is very sensitive. I can rust gold, which everyone will go, that's not possible. Try me. I will try it. I can rust gold. Gold necklaces will last 24 hours on me tops. They will become brittle, the gold will turn to dust, and it will tarnish. And I'm not talking cheap before someone goes, that's cheap gold, it's gold plated copper. I'm talking about an 18 karat gold necklace from a jeweller's that my parents bought me as a birthday present. I wore for 24 hours and the chain disintegrated. I do not wear gold for that reason. I am very funny with metals. Apart from that, I don't particularly like gold. It's not my thing, it's too yellow. But there's that. The charm itself hasn't broken. I've dropped it a couple of times. I think I've even stood on it once accidentally. And it's been absolutely fine. So the charm I'm very pleased with. It does what it says on the tin, really. Staying down the jewellery route, I also bought these earrings. Now, in the haul, these earrings had chains on them. I did have to buy them individually. I think they were about £1.09 each. They said they were stainless steel. Now, I have worn these in these holes pretty much since I've got them to give them a good trial. I do have stretched holes slightly still, and they have twisted round. I will show you. This one's easier to get in and out. They do have a thinner piece. She says dropping it. They are hinged, so they're very easy to get on and off. And they do lock very, very well. I do have problems with the other one of the pair actually getting it open some days. The chains, they're fine. I've been using them. I wore them to travel. I wore them till I got here. And I have just been swapping them out for some other cheap charms I bought off Amazon that don't touch my skin. If they touched my skin, they're Tibetan silver, they're cheap, they would probably tarnish. I don't keep them in overnight, I take them off because it's so easy to do. So yeah, I've been wearing different charms, but the earrings themselves have not caused me itchy earlobes, which is normally a sign for me before they even go black that they're not great. It said they were stainless steel. I kind of believe them. So they've not been bad. What should we do next? Let's do this next. These are the bra clips that I purchased. I wore one the other day to, as you can see, my bikini straps are showing. So I had a t-shirt on like this, and the Griffin helped me pin this to the back of my bra just to pull the straps in. It has bent a little bit here with the bits that hold the bra. Now, that could be because the bra I had on, the straps were very thick. They were pleather straps. I think if you'd put it on a normal bra, it probably wouldn't have done that. But they're robust. They're not going to break in a hurry. They are going to do me for what I need, probably a very long time. And I have various colours. I've got the clear one. I have a white one and I think it's meant to be nude. Dead guinea pig is normally the nude colour that people go with. But there you go, there's the clear, the white, the nude, or cream. Is it cream? It's more cream than nude, but nude one, and black. It worked. It was not uncomfortable to wear. There are some designs of these on the site that I think could be uncomfortable to wear, in that they are a bit more spiky. These ones are rounded. It was fine. I had no issues with them whatsoever. I have been able to push the clip prongs back in and kind of flatten it out again, and they've not shown any signs of breakage, wear, creasing, weakness. So for what I paid for them, which was a few pence, for the few times that I will need to wear them, they will last me a very, very long time. They've been good. I thought they might be a little bit itchy to wear. I thought they might be a little bit uncomfortable. But they've been fine. And if you need something like this, maybe you want to wear a racerback dress and you want to put it on your bikini and swim with it, I'm sure that they would hold for that as well. What's next? These things. So in reviews of these online, it was saying you could put water on these and, sorry, I keep knocking the table, that you could put water on these and take your makeup off. Do they work? Not without a face wash. If you have taken your makeup off with a makeup remover, or like I use the, what's it called, Body Shop chamomile balm, put that all over my face, wipe that off with a cloth, and then wash my face with this, they are very good. They are solid, they are very soft, but they do get rid of that dry skin, that pilling effect that you can get, that I talk about a lot. They get rid of that. I have two with me. I have one I use in the morning and this one that I use in the evening to take sun cream, all that good stuff off before I put my night sleep mask on. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. Sorry about that. And they have been great. They have left my skin very smooth. They clean nicely. They go through the washing machine. No problem at all. They don't shed. When I got them, they had some shedding a little bit in the packet, but I can pull it and that it's not coming apart. Do they work to keep your face clean? Yes. Do they work to take residue of makeup off? Yes. Do they take waterproof makeup off? Not without a wash product. But they work. They were cheap. They will do. I've got 3 of them. They will probably last me quite a while. And I do prefer them because they are spongy compared to the ones I have had previously, which are just like 2 bits of fabric. I do find those stain very quickly. These haven't. So that's a bonus, I guess. Headbands. As you can see, I'm wearing one. And if you're very, very astute in your detail of looking at things, observations, that's the word, you'd know I'm not wearing the Temu one. So this is the Temu one. It's very wide, it's very stretchy, it's a jersey fabric headband with a twist knot at the front. This one, which is identical to this one, is from Amazon, which is also very stretchy and has the twist knot at the front, but is about half the width. I prefer the Amazon one for 2 reasons. This one, for protecting my head, bumming around, coming out of the shower, whatever, is great. But to wear normally, like I'm wearing this one, it's just too big, it's too wide. I think because I have a buzz cut and not hair, I think if I had hair it would be absolutely fine. But because I don't, it's just too big for my head. It kind of sits up and not round. it doesn't fall as I want it to. I then have to kind of scrunch it up, and it's not a thing. The other part of it, of why I prefer the Amazon one, the inside of the, I don't even know if you can see, but the inside of this has quite a pronounced seam. And although it feels soft, I do find that it does rub on my head. And after a few hours, I do have to take it off, give my head a rest and put it back on. I do suffer with my skull since being in hospital that it gets sore and it feels like the bone is bruised. Not just, you know, a headache. This is actually the skull feels like it's very, very tender. The Amazon ones do not have that problem. I've had this on now for, what time is it? 2:25 I've had this on probably 3 hours. Not a problem. I could keep this on all day. Wouldn't cause me any problem. The seam is similar, but it's a lot smaller, and it doesn't have that waxed burnt ends. It does, but very, very tiny, whereas the Temu one, they are quite pronounced. You can tell the difference. And this one's, I don't know, it just hurts. I do have the Paisley one. I was going to bring it on holiday. I couldn't find it. I've put it somewhere safe. I probably caught it up with a top or something. Yeah, it's okay. It's not the best. If I wanted to wear it with one of my wigs, it might be absolutely fine. But for general use with my buzz cut, it's going to be the Amazon ones, I'm afraid. They fit my head better. They sit nicer. They don't cause me a sore skull. So that one's a bit of a fail. The last item I purchased from Temu was 2 of the flight bags. This has the piece that you can put over your suitcase handle, and you can put your passport, wherever you want to, in there. I do have bits in here at the moment. We have the Griffin used his for the flight. I didn't. He had books, all sorts of things in there that were quite heavy. No issues. They've held together. They are very sturdy. They pack a lot in there, to be fair. And I didn't use mine. I saved it. I used my medical bag because it was just easier for all my electrics, and I know it fits on the plane without any problem. It's a bit more structured, so I used that one. But we've been using these daily for the shopping. They've carried bottles of drink. They've been attached to my walker. We've carried them, and they've been great. I've got mine out here because all the bits and pieces that I need to sit out in the shade, I don't do the sunlight, but to sit out here when I've got lip balms and sunglasses and power packs and tripods and tablets and water, just chuck it all in there and I can carry it in one go instead of having to do several trips. So it's been really helpful. I do like the fact that it's got a big pocket on the side, which means if I want to carry a bottle of water, I can. It's just handy. It's a handy shopping bag. It folds down nicely. We've had both of them sat in the bottom basket of my walker, and they've been great. They've done the job. They've carried the recycling up the road to the recycling bin. They've done everything that I need them to do. The seams are fine. They possibly, you can see daylight through this one, but again, it cost me £2. If it lasts this holiday, and it lasts our holiday in September, £2 it will do. If I use it and keep it in my walker as a shopping bag, again, it will do the job. It's not something I'm going to use a lot, but rather than paying, I think the cheapest one I found that was similar for size and the pocket on the front, as well as the piece that goes over the handle of your suitcase and the 2 side pockets, I think the cheapest one I found on Amazon was £39.99. So I've saved £37, £36 roughly on a bag that will do what it says on the tin. It holds things for shop. Like I said, for shopping, it's been great. We've taken them out. They don't take up a lot of space, and they're waterproof, which is also helpful. Conclusion. The The products aren't bad. I think they would be very hit and miss. Again, it's do your own research, read what it says. A few of the TikToks I've watched, people have been caught out by reviewing products and saying, oh, I thought this was glass, and it's obviously plastic. Somebody bought a vase and they thought it was going to be glass, and it was plastic, and they moaned about it, but they paid 49 pence. Of course it was going to be plastic. The shipping for a glass vase would cost more than the items that they purchased. People are using it a lot. It's become the new thing to do is buy off Temu. Their tagline is shop like a billionaire. So for £25 or $25, you can pick up 15, 16, 17 items and go, look at all these things I got for $25. It's up to you what you do. I'm not going to tell anyone they should use Temu, they shouldn't use Temu. All I'm saying is, if you do use them, just be aware of their ethics. Go and do the research, it's all available online. And please use a third party via the website, not the app, just as a precaution. I don't know that they are putting spyware on phones. I can't prove it. They say they're not. And it only seems to be the American federal government that have an issue with it. And they've called it the app that is more dangerous than TikTok. I'll leave that there. So, up to you what you do. Products are not bad. Some people are not getting their products, but that's the same with every company. They are cheap, Chinese, mass-produced products. They are stealing photographs, content. I was scrolling through, I just put in the word Gothic just to see what they had on the website the other day. And one of the first things that came up was the Killstar Gaia boots, which are the velvet ones with the embroidery up the side with the big platforms. I own them. I know how much they cost. But apparently they're now doing them for 20 quid. They have the same ethics as Wish.com, Shein, stealing products, stealing photographs, although the products that are turning up look like the photographs. So I can see why people are taken in by it, but just be careful. It's another, as I said multiple times, Wish.com under a different name. So I'm going to leave it there because I've waffled way too much. Thank you for listening. Stay safe if you use them. Look after your data on any website that you use. And shop however you want. I'm not here to tell you to do it or not to do it. I'm just here to point out that they are not the most ethical brand out there. It is mass-produced Chinese stuff, and protect your data. So until then, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to go away and enjoy the rest of the afternoon, finish editing this and pop it up online, and I will catch you all again very, very soon.